Hi, I'm Alex Mammoser, one of the co-founders of Bluewater Labs.
And I'm Sara Broghamer. I'm also a co-founder of Bluewater Labs. Today we're going to talk about how you know automation is right for you.
I think that's a great question and a difficult one to answer. You know, Bluewater makes many models of machines, anything from a semi-automated machine, we call it the HP1, all the way up through a RL machine, which is capable of cleaning 75 screens an hour. When you go into each one of those, I think depends a lot on labor in your factory and how many screens you clean per day. For some of our customers, I think, you know, looking at it at 15, 20 screens a day makes sense for some of the semi-auto reclaim.
So I don't have to be this huge contract printer to justify adding automation, adding a Bluewater machine like this to my shop.
Absolutely not. We have many, many shops that run multiple manuals or single automatics that start looking at some of our smaller machines just to reduce that labor or keep their consistency throughout the factory with different automation.
What I like people to know is that we have a solution for any size shop.
It's probably one of our most redeeming features is that, you know, we can walk you through the entire thing, whether you start with us with an HP1 when you have a couple of manuals or a single automatic. And if you grow to 5, 6 automatics, you walk into something like the machine behind us, the standard. We have the ability to grow with you throughout the entire process.
How many machines are in the lineup?
So on the reclaim side, we have 4 different machines in the lineup. We also make solvent recirculation machines to clean squeegees and flood bars, take ink out of screens for save screens. And we have 2 different developers as well for the pre-press.
Labor costs are rising, as we know, and a lot of shop owners understand the cost to employ somebody. You have PTO, you have benefits you're paying. People come with personal needs and they need to take vacation. A machine doesn't have those needs.
No. And I think that's part of the reason everyone's looking at automation throughout the entire thing. Even when someone comes to us to look at maybe an inline here, you know, before they talk to us about an inline, sometimes we'll recommend buying other automation before our machine in order to grow into our machine. You know, do you have an automatic coder? Do you have a CTS machine? Those things are crucial for the process, and they also allow this machine to be much more consistent in what it's doing. You know, chemical delivery, timing of screen cleaning, all that stuff.
So you don't have to be a shop that has millions of dollars in revenue or running 2 shifts or doing 200 screens a day to warrant a piece of Bluewater equipment.
No, we have so many owner-operators, right, that start to look at our semi-automatic machine, the HP1. That machine, you know, we have people doing as few as 10, 15 screens a day that start to look at that machine because it allows the owner himself to get a more consistent result and do 2 things at the same time, or they'll load the machine and go do something else. Or maybe they'll come in on a Friday or Saturday and do all of the reclaim themselves with the singular machine rather than having to stand there with a pressure washer. Some of it's a little bit of a luxury feature for them, right? Where they just want to be able to keep all the sound, all the mess inside of a box, and then just come in and operate the machine.
And all of our machines are made to order.
Everyone.
So depending on what your need is, we can customize the machine for you. What are some of the, let's talk about some of the add-ons and some of the options that we offer.
You know, some of the semi-auto machines or the smaller inlines, that's kind of built like a Henry Ford model, right? Where the HP1, you order it and you can order it in single phase or 3 phase, but it's designed and produced quite simply and keeps the operation simple for both us and for the owner operator. So you can get into an automated machine, you know, for a fairly inexpensive cost. Same with the compact model, which is our introduction into the inline cleaning. It's both space-wise quite small. It's only 12.5 feet long, comes in single phase and 3 phase, which allows, you know, shop owners that may not have that power to run a full inline machine like this, you know, to get into a fully automatic cleaning. And then we also have a lot of features where you can get a customized in feed, a customized out feed for some of the bigger shops that will allow a machine like this to transport the screen throughout their facility rather than having to racks move everything. So, you know, if you're in a screen room looking at one of our developers, you can run it on your CTS machine, load it onto the belt, and it will transport it out of your screen room to where you're taping. And you can even get an option where you add a dryer to that developer. So when it comes out of the developer, it's ready to get taped up right away and go to your production floor.
I know when I talk to people, they have concerns about the water usage because if you're manually cleaning, you're turning that pressure washer on and off. This just looks like it's going to take a lot of water use.
It is true, automatic reclaim machines probably use a little bit more water than a manual process. We have a lot of features to combat that. We do have a filtration system built in, and we just partnered with a great company that has allowed us to build a fully automated filtration system that'll reuse 80% of the water, 85% of the water approximately that comes out of this machine will go right back into it. And not only can we put that onto like a Bluewater machine, but we can also, if you own a competitive machine or you just want to put that into your building, we can install that type of filtration system into your building where you'll be able to recapture and reuse 85% of the water that's coming down your drains.
So kind of looking at carbon footprints, the chemical consumption is lower. From the carbon footprint, we have a really strong partnership with Easiway Systems, who's also really strong in the environmental space.
Yeah, and they've been around for 45 years, so that partnership has really allowed Bluewater to get into the network of the screen printers and quickly become the largest reclaim manufacturer in the world. Their salespeople talk about Bluewater, the distributors talk about Bluewater, and it really gets us into a nationwide network and even on a global scale, that support system and the service level that they've expected when they're using those chemicals.
And some people don't know or realize that there's some shared ownership between the two companies. So this partnership isn't going to dissolve and go away. No. It's not a hot trend.
No.
I think we're partners for life here.
We are partners for life, and Bluewater's here to stay.
What are the main reasons customers choose Bluewater, in your opinion? I have some ideas of my own.
Yeah, I think there's three main reasons. I think the unique order of operations. We looked at what Easiway launched, 20 years ago with the dip tank cleaning method, and we took that method and put it into a box essentially, and we automated that. I think a lot of other machines out there, they get screens clean, there's no question. But the way that this does it reduces the chemical costs and allows the screen to come out what we'll call truly finished. There's no haze left. There's no additional degreasing needed. This order of operations allows that to happen. And along with the chemical partnership, I mean, that's, really they go hand in hand and they can't be separated. There's a few other features too. We use a lot of air movement in this machine. It stops cross-contamination, and no one else in the industry is looking at that. It keeps us one step ahead of everybody else.
If a shop is manually reclaiming and their chemical consumption costs are 70 cents a screen,
sure,
what realistically can we tell people you're going to get it down to by investing in automation like this one?
Sure. So all our inline machines function at approximately 40 cents. They were all built to be around that number. It's both from a chemical usage standpoint and a speed to clean the screen standpoint, something that we've accepted as a good balance.
And I also want to touch on the fact that they are made here in Minnesota. Yeah. The United States, we're in a unique situation right now with tariffs.
Absolutely. We have about 50,000 square feet right outside the Twin Cities, and we source everything we can locally. Our polypropylene comes from Pennsylvania. We partner with electronics manufacturers quite local to here. As much as we can source, we do from the United States.
So this machine here is made out of plastic.
Yes.
Tell me more about that. I see a lot of machines being made out of stainless steel, and I know sometimes people are concerned with the plastic option.
Absolutely. The polypropylene that these machines are made out of are incredibly chemical resistant, and that's why we chose to go with it. Even some of the best stainless steels in the world, because of some of the chemicals we use, tend to rust over time, whereas the polypropylene will never do that. It also has a large sound dampening factor to it. In a stainless steel machine, you tend to, when a power washer is running, get a little bit of echo running around. And the polypropylene really absorbs some of that sound and reduces the noise that these automatic reclaim machines create.
And we're not just another auto reclaim company building them with the same chambers out of stainless steel. You can see that we are doing plastic. Yeah. That's different. Our chambers are different.
Absolutely.
How we're cleaning the screen is different than the competition.
I think we are poised and placed in a truly unique position, which is why we have grown to be the largest reclaim manufacturer in the world right now.
I want to go over the different models that we offer, starting with the HP1, which is kind of going to be your entry level.
Absolutely, yeah. So the HP1 is what we would call a semi-auto reclaim machine, right? A lot of owner-operators will be looking at it, It's essentially a power washer and a filtration system in a box. So it keeps the mess and the noise inside of a box. And, think of it essentially anytime you yourself or an employee would be holding a power washer, that's now the automated part of the process. And so, shops doing 15 to 40 screens a day tend to look at that machine pretty heavily.
Another entry-level machine would be the IR2. I want to talk about that a little bit.
To remove ink, to either save screens or to clean tools. If you want to pre-clean screens before you dip tank them and put them in HP1, there's a lot of unique ways to use an IR2. It's really built on just being a solvent recirculation system that has many different purposes in many different size shops, all on one platform, so we don't have to build 7 different model machines.
So I don't need to buy a 4810 from Easiway.
The 4810 from Easiway is a great piece of equipment to clean squeegees and flood bars until you get to a certain level, right? Once you're cleaning 50, 100, 200 tools a day, I feel like it's really hard to make that a manual process when you could simply load those tools into a rack, slide it into the IR2, hit the start button, and they come out clean.
And then we move into our truly automated machines, like the one behind us.
Absolutely. We have 3 different inline machines. The compact machine will clean up to about 100 screens a shift. The standard machine behind us will clean 200 screens a shift. And our large machine, in its standard form, will clean 600 screens a shift or 75 screens an hour. We have customized some machines to clean up to 100 screens an hour in a few of the large shops around.
So it's really your space constraints partnered with your needs.
Capacity, yeah, exactly. We also built some developers. The developers come in the standard model and the large model. Both those developers are also available with a drying system, and that drying system allows you to tape the screen automatically when it comes out of the back of the machine. So again, instead of having to cart screens through your shop or, let screens dry before you tape them and put on the production floor, we've developed a way to automate and increase the workflow inside of your screen room.
So it's really a perfect time today with the rising labor costs and the tariffs.
Absolutely.
To add automation to a lot of different size shops, even if you think that you're too small, you might not.
So, yeah. I think it's worth having a conversation. We answer our Instagram, our website, and we'd be happy to start a conversation.
So really what we want people to know is you're not too small for automation.
No.
It depends on what you're hoping to achieve. We probably have a solution for them.
We do. I'd say let's start the conversation now.